blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce myself. His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight into my diaphragm.
Oh, sup, dude? The name's Kenji.
Ah, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome.
There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier.
It was probably my parents.
Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover.
His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures.
You're a brave son of a bitch, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself.
Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while.
A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart.
He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it.
Never mind, it doesn't matter.
With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is printed to the sleeve of one of the shirts.
Hi, Hee-chan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hope I would have. Then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day too. I still think I am. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow, I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, this bottle of medications neatly arranged on my night table catches my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I'd forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. Huh? This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that, indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, till I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh clothes against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here? Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it whenever we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat.
Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hee-chan.
My first thought is that she means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't put me right.
Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you could help out too.
Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes.
I don't know, Hee-chan. The truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so...
She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish, and starts signing hard and heavy.
Huh? Oh. Nah, who cares?
Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud.
Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes.
The teacher clears his throat very loudly, battling his long wooden pointer against the other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed glare at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off without a care.
We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shi-chan. What? Oh, that's right. Hee-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club?
It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchanged between them. Misha's tone had also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long, dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in a group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything?
Hee-chan, is something wrong?
Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me looking after the girl who left? No, nothing.
Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you?
I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really.
Do you want to have lunch together then?
Sure.
Yay! Okay, Hee-chan, perfect!
The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all of our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything.
Yes, it is, Hee-chan!
Impossible.
Really?
Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really. Shizune can hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's only looking at me. This is all very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me, as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze.
Are you sure, Hee-chan?
Very sure.
You're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence and my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them.
Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them.
Well, where do you want to eat?
The cafeteria?
That's so plain! Okay, let's go!
Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I'd like to eat outside, near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there was a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier.
So, Hee-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Hee-chan? Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first.
Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again and Misha straightens her posture as if she is about to deliver a speech.
Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in?
I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams or players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot.
There is a book club, right, Hee-chan? Right, but it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan, it's a really popular club. Okay, but more to the point, Hee-chan, does this mean you don't already have anything in mind?
Not really.
Good, great, that's great, Hee-chan, really great!
Why is it so great?
No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student Council!
I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion, in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has the voice to whatever she says.
Oh, right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join.
Why?
Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hee-chan. Shi-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan is the president.
I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha.
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to come on aboard.
So, you're admitting that?
No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hee-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan?
I can't tell if she's being genuine or if it's just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are pretty cute to begin with. Well...
So it's settled then! Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan!
What? No! No!
Aw, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now.
You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here! Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes.
That's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game.
That's not what I said.
How about Rich Man, Poor Man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Aw, why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up, and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline.
Hee-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying that you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad.
Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin.
In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
No!
How about a game of paper football instead of Rich Man, Poor Man?
Paper football?
Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shi-chan? That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means that you're probably surprisingly good at it.
Yeah, that's true. How'd you know, Hee-chan?
Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk? The game of world domination!
I don't know what that is.
It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
If you want to play, we can after school. Oh, really, Shi-chan? We can just play for fun, Hee-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached.
Well, okay.
Okay, perfect! We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hee-chan.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're just gonna play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still. For some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room was as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large. Maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing in this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early?
No.
What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today?
Yep, that's right.
Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically.
Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this.
Let's start project.